Some of the must-have clothes in a man's wardrobe. First of all, you must have a suit. That's a must. You must have at least a navy blue suit. If things are doing well, at least have 5 sets of suits. And Steve once made that statement and told you if you have 5 suits, you can have a combination of very many other suits from the 5 you're having. So a gentleman must have a suit. A gentleman in Uganda must, and I repeat, must own a kanzu. Eno kanzu y'omuleera eyaffe eya Buganda. You must own one because it looks very funny. You may not be a Muganda, but you'll be invited ku mukolo gw'Abaganda and you start gambling at last minute and fidgeting. So you should always have a kanzu in your wardrobe. Lastly, a gentleman must, and I repeat, must have at least one piece of linen in their closet. Linen defines class, linen defines elegance. So there is that one moment when you must look VVIP and successful in life. Linen is a garment of success, so you must own one. Even before you're successful, fake it until you make it. About shoes, I've observed something and I believe you have observed as well. The very first thing many people do when they see you for the very first time, as a man, they will first look at what you're putting on down. Mu Luganda bakiyita kupimapima, omuntu asooka n'atunula wansi naye ambusa amaaso. So make sure that that first look at what you're putting on down silences them, changes their perspective, and everything. So you must be very mindful about that shoe you're putting on. Okay? I do not think that as a gentleman you should be having only one pair of shoes. That is wrong. Because you'll put it on however durable it is, it will start getting unnecessary wrinkles, it will start having different shapes on the soles, and you'll look like a gambler. You won't look very reasonably smart. So think about having at least 2 or 3 pairs of shoes and then play around with them. I own more than 100, not because of too much money, but because I know what it means to have a good shoe down there. On whether I prepare what to wear a day before, yes, sometimes I do. Actually, most of the times I do. I think so much about what I'm going to put on, where I am going, who I'm likely to meet. Yes, and I always say, they always tell people, always be mindful of that you have put on before stepping out of that door because you don't know who you're going to meet. So that thing is always at the back of my mind. I always imagine, what if I bump into that someone when I'm dressed that somehow? So I try to keep myself organized every day, whether I have an appointment or not, unless I'm going for sports or gym or something. But even when it is that, I still want to have that sense of style. I still want to look very special and different.